In the last 10 years, 1,600 laws, old, antiquated statutes have been removed from the statute book. Can you give a similar example anywhere in the world? 1,600 laws have been removed.
Pollution is a challenge in India. And if you look at the impact of pollution on the Indian economy, it is far more consequential than any impact of any tariffs that have been put on India so far.
In the last 10 years, 1,600 laws, old, antiquated statutes have been removed from the statute book. Can you give a similar example anywhere in the world? 1,600 laws have been removed. 35,000 compliances have been removed. A big exercise is right now going to reshape the legal structure tuned to modern times, because many of the laws were written in a time when the government and the political setup of that period, I'm saying of the early, from 1950 to 1990, that was a period when the governments were basically very inward looking. They were very protectionist. They were not looking at the energy of our people. They were trying to control that energy. So many of those laws are being rewritten now. So that's a major exercise which is going on. Second, many of the procedural things are getting changed. Mr. Mittal is witness to get a telecom tower permit, it used to take 270 days. Now it takes 7 days. To get a railway terminal connected to the railway network, it used to take 6 years. Now it takes just about 2.5 months. So that is the kind of simplification, procedural as well as legal, is happening in the country. Our entire criminal justice system, which was of 1800 some vintage, so that has now totally been transformed into a new structure. The Telecom Act was of 1854 vintage. That has been replaced by a brand new 2023 Act. So practically every sector, we are trying to bring in a totally new legal framework, a totally new procedural framework built on the technology stack that we have.
Absolutely. I mean, India needs a lot more deregulation. It is still, in terms of ease of doing business, it is still a challenging place to do business. I'd love to hear from you in terms of what challenges you face. So taking out more and more of the archaic rules that have held back business is absolutely critical. But then all other aspects of India will also have to continue in terms of the reforms will have to continue, the ones we talked about on land and labor. One of the areas I wanted to point out, which we usually don't talk about when you're talking about business development, is I want to talk about pollution. Mm-hmm. Pollution is a challenge in India. And if you look at the impact of pollution on the Indian economy, it is far more consequential than any impact of any tariffs that have been put on India so far. If you look at the annual cost to India's GDP of the level of pollution that you have, and it's not just the effect on economic activity, but it's also the loss in lives. I mean, the numbers are really large. Based on a World Bank study that was done, I think it was published in 22, about 1.7 million lives are lost every year in India because of pollution. That's 18% of the deaths in India. I think even from any international investor's perspective who's thinking of coming in and putting up a shop in India, if you have to live there and you have the environment is not of the kind that you feel that, okay, this is going to be consequential for your health, it holds you back. And obviously, not to say, but all the Indians that are living in this kind of pollution. So addressing that on a war footing is critical. I mean, this has to be a mission, a top mission for India.